Hey guys, Ryan here with our second video tutorial for Audacity. Today I'm going to show you how to import audio tracks and how to have an overview of all the tracks so it's easier to see what's going on. We'll also do some basic EQ. So we'll get right into it. I have some pre-recorded audio tracks that I have for this video. So I'm going to do File, Import, Audio. And I have a folder which has the drum loops that I will be using for this video. You can just select all the tracks that you will be importing if you're importing. And as you can see, I have all the tracks here. They're all labeled. And we can reorganize the layout if we want to have a track up top. So for drums, I like to have the kick drum up on the first track. Then I like to put the snare drum up. Okay, and then we have the hi-hat, overheads, which picks up the whole kit, lots of cymbals usually. We have a room microphone, which picks up ambience, and we also have the toms. I'm going to move the toms up. Okay, one more time. So we have kick drum first, snare drum, then the toms, the hi-hat, the overhead cymbals, and the room microphone, excuse me. So let's play back. I'm going to stop there. So that is essentially all that we're going to be listening to. So let's go to View, Mixer Board. And as you can see, all the tracks are displayed how we organized it on the editor. First, snare drum. And we'll wait for the toms to come in. We got a signal and everything. There we go. So let's stop it right there. So we just did file import and we imported our audio tracks that were all previously recorded. So let's get to some basic EQ. What I like to start off with EQ is just the bass and treble section is the most simple plugin on this program for EQ. So there's that, and there's also the graphic EQ. We'll get into that. And there's also spectral edit parametric EQ. So we'll start simple with the bass and EQ. So for instance, let's listen to the snare drum. I'm going to hit solo. Listen back. Okay, awesome. So let's say that we wanted to EQ it, make it sound a little nicer or punchier, or add some high end to it to add more snap. We can double click the track, hit effect. We'll go to bass and treble, and then we can modify it here. Obviously, the low end is going to be the bass, and then the treble is the high end. Low and high. So let's add some treble. We'll add some low end for some body. And then we hit apply. Okay. As you can see, the track waveforms are different since we applied it. If we hit undo, you'll see it different. I actually applied the EQ twice, so this is the original. Listen back. That is not processed. Now I'm going to hit redo. As you see right there, the waveforms moved. So as you can tell, there's definitely more body and there's more snap to the snare drum. I'll take it off. You can hear it prior. Redo. You can rehear it, the EQ. Great. There's also the graphic EQ. So if we wanted to EQ it more, we'd double select the track, graphic EQ. Now, a very broad, simple, summarized version of this graphic EQ is your low end, the very low end is 20. That's very low. That's going to be for like subwoofers and stuff like that. And really, really high, 20 kilohertz. So for you're just going to have to mess with all these settings on depending what you're doing, but usually the mid-range is the most sensitive over here. Okay, so let's give some more body. So I'm going to put it around 200 and 160. Hit OK. Listen back. So there we go. We were able to do some graphic EQ. We can always hit undo. We're back to our previous version of the snare drum. You can also hit flatten if you have a bunch of settings and you just want to go back to the starting point, flatten. Okay. So next, let's listen to the rest of the kit. So a cool thing you can do is this pan. You can change where the sound's going to on the headphones. So for the hi-hat, I can put it on the left more. Or you can go to the right. I like to do around 60 right there. You can put the snare drum on the right. I like to keep in the center. Just showing you what the pan feature does. And let's see what else we can do. So let's listen to the room. So as you can hear, it's just the ambience of the drum room. So let's add some more bottom end to that. Double click it. Effect. Let's just go to bass and treble. We already have some settings. I'm just going to go boost that to 8 dB. Now let's listen back. You can definitely hear more of the sub-ear bass. I'll take it off. And put it back on. Definitely bassier. If we wanted to put more high end, let's do it again, double click. Let's go to the graphic EQ. Let's put up around 2.5K. Okay, listen back. It gave some more presence. So I like how it's sounding there. Let's listen back to everything all together. I'll put on the mixer view. And you can also alter the track volume from this, which is great. Snare drum was sounding a little too loud, so brought it down. -3 dB. We can put up the hi-hat more if we want to from this section. We can lower the room mic. Oh. Big difference. Let's fade it in. Awesome. So that's a great window to look at, the mixer board window. I highly recommend doing it. If you have more than one track, you want to see the levels and what's going on, and you can also alter the volume there. It's really handy. So that's a general overview of importing tracks using the mixer board window and doing some very, very basic EQ. If we want to, we can try to look at to use spectral, enable spectral sections. Interesting. I'm going to have to check that out when this video recording ends, so we can always jump back into that. But the very basic EQ would be bass and treble. And then if we look at the graphic EQ, you can flatten this out and then look and experiment with the different frequencies. So if you go to Google, you can type in the graphic EQ and you can type in a specific instrument. You could do for speech, piano. It's very, very handy to shaping the tone of your source. So I highly recommend experimenting with the graphic EQ. And if you just want some basic, quick results, the bass and treble is excellent. So that's all I'm going to teach you guys in this lesson. I hope it was helpful for you guys. And I hope you enjoy using Audacity. And I'll see you on lesson 3. Thanks for watching.